Hello, everyone. Welcome to your Tuesday lunch break. I'm Tanya Rivero. Hurricane researchers have struggled for decades with forecasting the intensity of a storm, that one confounding element that can make such a difference in preparing for it. But now scientists at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration have a new tool they are about to unleash, a drone, for which they have high hopes. Here to tell us about it is Jason Dunlon, a scientist with NOAA who has himself flown over 50 hurricane flights. Hi, Jason. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, Jason, can you tell us about the Coyote drone? Is the idea that it will go where it's too dangerous for men to fly?
That really is the idea behind these drones, is to go to places where you don't routinely want to go, or at least you don't want to even go there once in a while. So this Coyote drone will take us to the lowest, say, 3,000 feet of the hurricane environment, where it would be very dangerous to take a manned aircraft.
And that low area is where all the information lies. Is that right?
That's correct. So this interface between the ocean and the atmosphere, this is where all the energy from the ocean gets exchanged into the atmosphere. You kind of think of it as how that hurricane is actually feeding itself and getting stronger. So very hard to take observations there, but a very, very important part of the storm that we need to understand better.
Can you tell us what it's like to fly into a storm? How low have you been able to fly?
We had a few flights. Like you said, I've been in several storms, probably about 50 flights into hurricane eyes over the years. It's a very interesting and surreal experience. You know, I used to be a social worker, so my past history is very different. But when you're flying into those storms, say down at 500 feet, usually we're up at maybe 5 or 10,000 feet. Very rough rides. You have to be belted in to the hilt. Nothing like flying on a regular airline.
Can you even see anything, though? Are you totally blind?
You have radars at your disposal. We actually have cameras, so we do have a lot that we can see, but it's the roughest roller coaster you've ever had, and you really don't know when those big bumps are coming.
All right, so is this why it's been so hard in the past for scientists to get a handle on the intensity? Because, you know, you certainly seem to have storm direction down at this point.
That's right. If you look over the years, the intensity forecast has been struggling a bit. We've done pretty well with track, but how strong is that storm going to get has really been lagging. It's very hard to understand what the intensity of a storm is going to do, not only because there are lots of environmental factors that affect it, but also the track affects it. Where it goes can actually affect the intensity. So we do need to play some catch up in that department.
And of course, as we learned from Hurricane Charlie in 2004, was it a storm can strengthen dangerously in just a matter of hours, correct?
That's right. We call that rapid intensification, where the storm increases in speed by about 35 miles per hour just in one day. So folks can go to bed with a Category 1 approaching, and they can actually wake up with a major Category 3 storm right off their doorstep. Those are the most dangerous situations that we try to really forecast well.
Terrifying there. All right, so what are the hopes for the Coyote drone?
So what we want to do is launch that from the airplane. So it's a small instrument. Kind of looks a little bit like this. This is a GPS dropson, a little mini weather station. This one has a parachute. The Coyote is going to have a little motor that's going to take it around the storm for a couple of hours, and it's going to be collecting all the information we want to know about the storm, especially in those lowest levels. It can also monitor how the pressure is changing, which is very important for intensity.
All right, very exciting development. Jason, thank you so much for that.